Hi everyone, Jody Conrad from Recreation and Park Services here again. It's been about a week and a half or maybe even 2 weeks since the last video. And since that time we've had a bit of rain and some good spring weather. So the spring wildflowers are just popping out now really well. So what we're gonna do is revisit some of the ones we had an introduction to last week and see how they're making out. And I wanna introduce you to a couple ladies of the woods. Let's go have a look. And here we have a nice little patch of bunchberries. And if I zoom in here, you can see pretty nicely where the white bloom is forming in the center of the bunch, so to speak. And later on in the fall, of course, that's where those the bunch of beautiful red berries will form. But these are pretty common around here, as are starflowers, which I'm going to show you in just a second. And here's our little starflower. These, I remember when I was a kid going to Keji, and the forest floor was just carpeted with starflowers, and I'd never seen them before, so I thought Keji was this exotic place with these weird and wonderful plants, which is true. But I've come to learn, of course, that they grow pretty commonly in a bunch of places, including my backyard. Now, when this flower enters a room, so to speak, everyone stops to notice. Ready for the entrance? Ta-da! Look at that beauty. This is our painted trillium, also known as the painted lady. What a beauty. I just stumbled upon a lovely patch of Rhododendron here, and I'm just going to get in a little bit closer so you can see that beautiful bloom. This is a native species of rhododendron that often grows along watersheds and actually along the roadway here in this case. Beautiful, shocking purple color, and when the leaves are out, you'll be able to tell that it does actually look like a sort of a mini rhododendron, like you'd have home in your garden. Beautiful plant. And here are some very common plants that are growing just along my woodpile here. This is wild sarsaparilla, and although pretty ubiquitous in our woods in Nova Scotia, what we often don't see is the bloom. So I'm just going to get down under here, and if you can see these weird looking puffy balls that are sort of radiating off the stem of the plant. They don't last very long, and they're really unique. But that's our wild sarsaparilla. I'm sure you've seen it. Here we have our second lady of the woods for the day. This, of course, is our pink lady slipper, also known as moccasin flower. And it's an orchid, so it's a perennial. So if you know of a patch of lady slipper, you can come back the next year and probably see them again unless they've been disturbed. Now, I knew there was something strange about these flowers. I know that they're very difficult to transplant, for example. In fact, you can't and probably shouldn't try. And you shouldn't pick them either, of course. But what happens is, and when a seed is dropped from a lady slipper, it's really dependent on a fungus that's in the ground to help it, to feed it, basically to feed that seed until it can take over for itself. And the neat thing that happens even beyond that is that at a certain point when the plant is self-sufficient, it actually flips that trade and feeds the fungus, provides nutrients to the fungus. So a really neat relationship there with fungus with this plant. This plant can get up to, I think some reports have said, over 100 years old for these plants. So very cool and deserves our respect. And so let's enjoy it. It's a beauty. For our last video, we had a quick look at wild lily of the valley, also known as false lily of the valley, also known as Canada Mayflower. But at that point, it was just leaves really coming out. But now, by getting close here, you can see some of the white flowers that are just starting to come out now. But it's coming along. It's looking good. Thanks for joining me on that wildflower walk today. That was fun. They're really coming out right now, so it's a perfect time to get out and have a look. And they're going to keep coming out. Different species come out later than some others. So go have a look, see what you can find. And if you find one and you don't know what it is, just enjoy it. And if you're inclined, go home and dig up some research on it, see what you can learn about it. That's it for today. Let's keep exploring and enjoying our backyards, and we'll see you next time.